Here goes nothing. Got a little tingle. This is lip volumizer from Roche. It has hyaluronic acid and it has collagen peptides. Both of those help improve moisture content in the lips. That's going to improve lip hydration, plumpness, smoothness, reduce irritation. The secret ingredient is capsicum. It comes from chili peppers, but on the lips, whoo, starting to burn, starting to tingle a little bit more. That's going to cause a little bit of swelling. It also can be irritating, which ultimately can cause more dryness, water loss in the long run. A lot of lip plumpers do have basically irritants in them. Remember, lip skin's really delicate. It doesn't really have the same protective layer as the rest of your facial skin. Have you ever eaten spicy food and your lips get a little swollen, a little tingly? That's kind of what this is like. They definitely are looking a little fuller. Dang, it works, but I caution, capsicum might just irritate your lips too much. It worked pretty quickly too. I mean, I've only been standing here like less than 3 minutes and they're already visibly plumper, at least per the viewfinder. Still kicking myself for not getting a few more of these sweet banana bread candles. If someone came in here, they'd be like, oh wow, that smells so good. I'd love to have a slice, and be like, I can feed you some wax. But the thing about capsaicin is it binds the little nerves, and that's kind of what leads to that burning sensation. Now, in the skin, when you apply it, you get the burning sensation, but it kind of depletes the neurotransmitters in those little nerves, kind of stuns them, if you will, so it completely calms down itch. That's the result of those nerves as well. Likewise, menthol, which has a cooling effect, it's not as though your skin temperature has changed from applying menthol, but it feels cool, is kind of a similar mechanism. You know, menthol is another maybe possible ingredient in some of these lip plumpers. One thing I've noticed though is it seems like it's really stayed on well. I mean, I've been wearing this for a while now, at least an hour and a half, if not 2 hours. But when it comes to chronic itch, let me tell you, anything that can break that itch scratch cycle, it's gonna help. Scratching is this weird behavior that we're wired to do because it feels really good, but it's so counterproductive because as you scratch, it disrupts the barrier further, and it also incites more violence, if you will, against the skin by activating further release of those neuroinflammatory mediators. And it's really challenging to stop scratching when you have that itch. In my personal experience, as someone who has flare-ups of really itchy skin, when you finally do scratch, it's the same feeling, only magnified times 100, as if you've ever been holding your bladder for a long time. You really have to go, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know. And you're so uncomfortable, and then you finally get to go to the bathroom, and it's just like this intense relief. Well, imagine telling someone to stop scratching. It's kind of like, imagine if you were in that situation, relieving your bladder, and someone's like, okay, stop peeing now. You got a little bit out. You should feel better, so stop peeing. It'd be like, what? Huh? No. All you want to do is scratch. Anyway, we are on our way to Bluebird Circle, a resale shop. Unfortunately, it does not have like the most accommodating hours, which I totally get because it's all volunteer led, which is amazing. I'm really appreciative to people who volunteer their time for these charity resale type shops, because all of the proceeds go to, I believe go to the neurology department at Children's Hospital, which is amazing. But it's always like challenging for me to get in there, and they're gonna close in about 30 minutes. These chairs nice. Oh my gosh, this is called Vaseline glass. How pretty. I like this one.
we can check on that.
This Saturday. I measured all the dimensions, so when we get home, they're huge, they're 4 inches. That's it.
How cute is this little bench? The needle point. Well, like I said, they were just about ready to close up, but they had some good stuff in there. I'm here at the Guild shop, which is another resale shop I like to come to, and it goes to, I forget which charity, but anyways, let's head on in. This set is nice. It kind of matches a little bit my little rose pattern that I have, but it's a different design. Well, it didn't last too long in there because they were closing up, but they did have a needlepoint chair in there that would have gone really cute next to that needlepoint bench that we saw in the other shop. I couldn't get a good shot of it in there because there were a lot of people around, but can you actually sit on needlepoint? I feel like over time it would wear it down. Speaking of wear down, I don't think my lips are looking as juicy as they were this morning in terms of the irritant effect. I think that the capsaicin has worn off, but maybe we'll swing by the good TJ Maxx. All right, I'm here in the big HomeGoods, and they've got more stuff to add to my lemon table spread. This is where I got the placemats. They have a lot of Easter stuff out. I just love these little houses. This is Martha Stewart, and it lights up. Look at that. Little bunny is sweet. Oh, it's nice. Put it on a bookshelf. Oh, almost missed these. What are these? Just little finger bowls. $8.
Cashier number 10. Cashier number 11.
Check it out, you guys. Didn't we see one of these at Target? The electric lunch heater. This one has a separate compartment. How much is this one? $17. Can't remember how much the one we saw at Target was. I also have toasters. A little rice cooker. I think I didn't get one of these, but I use my Kosari. Still with these strange vase things. These are always here, but these are pretty for a candlestick. We've got quite a bit of St. Patrick's Day decor. This little shamrock cottage is too cute. Look at the little bird. I swung into TJ Maxx, and dare I say, TJ Maxx has become the new drugstore. Like Walgreens and CVS, they don't have the pull that at least this TJ Maxx has. This TJ Maxx had CeraVe moisturizing cream, the lotion. They had Neutrogena, the hyaluronic acid face wash I like, and they also had Adapalene in there, the Neutrogena branded one. I always get my little notebooks that I like to take notes on for preparing for videos, and couldn't pass these up. How cute! $5.99 versus $8. Admittedly, it's a little slender, but I'm not mad because Sanrio, don't mind if I do. And then this one was just too cute, $6.99. I like that it's got a spiral bound. Look, you have the little Hello Kitty on the back. Special collection. And the paper has the little bow and it's lined. I don't care about it being lined or not. I can One of my superpowers is I can write in a straight line, more or less, on blank paper. This one has the little bow too. So not mad at that. Fine in there. But yeah, they had a lot of good skincare in there. I always enjoy wandering around TJ Maxx, Marshalls, HomeGoods. I don't necessarily usually buy anything, although that is where I get my little notebooks, but always a good time in there.
The formula is about to commingle like a Pringle because I can feel the tingle. Yeah, move over, LL Cool J, because the Lyricist Lounge show is in the house. And let me tell you, for the first time today, I tested out, I just put on like minutes ago, all right? Minutes ago, put on the Lipikar Urea 10% Roughness Smoothing Lotion. I purchased this a while back, kind of forgot I had it. You guys know I'm a huge urea lover. But let me tell you, urea, it can tingle. Urea and lactic acid. They can give a little bit of a tingle, burn, sting. If you have atopic dermatitis, you probably already know this. Because if you've ever put it on skin that you've been scratching a lot, you know, trying to cut back on that, and it's all red and maybe a little oozy, a little weepy. The acid moisturizers, while great for atopic dermatitis, whoo, they can burn and sting. This bad boy, yeah, I use a lot of urea moisturizers, and I haven't had that tingle in a bit. Speaking of tingle, burning and stinging and irritation, cut the sweat out. That's what this is gonna do. The Certain Dry Antiperspirant. Today I filmed a video on how to tackle underarm odor. Spoiler alert, contrary to what people tease about, a lot of people having a funk under their arms is not necessarily a hygiene issue. Like, you can be bathing, lathering up good, you know, washing your hands after you go to the bathroom, unlike a lot of people I see in public restrooms doing some questionable wishy-washy. You can have amazing hygiene and still get funky, okay? Because a lot of that kind of odor, under the arms especially, is related to the nature of underarm skin. Sometimes things internal, okay? Sometimes things internal, they make their way out in the eccrine sweat, and they're detectable. Like if you eat a lot of cruciferous vegetables, garlic, onion, certain spices, they come on out. They sneak on out the eccrine pore, and there's an aroma there. It's not necessarily all hygiene related, but one cannot argue the contribution that eccrine sweat, which is intended to cool, not detoxify the body, it's intended to cool, and things like hormones can influence how much of that we make. But if you want to knock it back some notches, you got to use an antiperspirant. And let me tell you, this Certain Dry one is potent potables, Alex. I'm going double jeopardy on this one. It's strong. It's really strong. And so it's not for the sensitive. I don't recommend using this every night. Try just using it once a week. And let me tell you, that's another thing a lot of people don't realize about antiperspirants. They don't necessarily need to be used on a daily basis, because once that aluminum salt gets down in there, reduces, you know, plugs up some sweat glands, well, you've got a reduction in sweat that's going to last for a couple of days. That's why this says 72 hours, not on this particular label, but the promotional materials for Certain Dry claim 72 hours. And they're not joking. They're not joking, let me tell you. I mean, I only use this bad boy once a week, and I'm not super sweaty. This time of year too, like you would think, with it being cold wherever you are. Where I'm at, we are back to swamp temperature as usual. But you know, in the cold, people think, oh, I'm probably not gonna sweat as much, so I'm gonna be cold. Well, the clothing that we wear in the winter months kind of traps moisture under the arms. You're not getting the air circulating around. Nobody's wearing a tank top shoveling snow. You shouldn't be. It's a little extreme. A lot of sun damage doing that. So there's not the good aeration. The sweat doesn't really get a chance to evaporate. So the bacteria, they love that. And have you ever worn a sweater all day, and at the end of the day you're like, Oh, wow. I have a very interesting odor. Yeah, it's because the sweat, and you may not have even necessarily been super hot, but we perspire all day. We're perspiring. Even when it's not hot, even when you're not actively dripping sweat, you're perspiring. All that to say, like, don't be surprised if you get a little funk from time to time. And people who act higher than mighty about it, like, it's all well and good to tease somebody, but I think we have all had a bit of the BO from time to time. Don't judge, you know, it's not necessarily hygiene related, because poor hygiene odor is of a different ilk. I have a really, 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 like, sensitive nose, so I can tell if you smell funky because you're nasty or if you smell funky just because you got a little funk in you. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this vlog up here. I hope you all enjoyed it and that you're having a fantastic weekend. Make sure you come back tomorrow for another scintillating day of joy, for another vlog. If you guys like this one, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.